The rest of you, as Yertle joins up, kind of making your way through the streets, you go further and further into the city.
Obviously, Marcus hits them all in his rush. Just like kills.
Burned down by a fucking van that we stole. So, Lucky, you still got that spell that can, like, turn you into people?
Turn me. Oh, you mean disguise self?
Yeah, the one where you, like, look like Varian for the capture the flag.
I mean, not exactly on me right now, but I'm pretty sure I could cast it if I try hard enough.
Well, I'm kind of sick of people, like, not helping us or not letting us help because we're kids. Can that be used to, like, make me look like an adult?
I mean, theoretically, I could try modifying the spell.
No. Well, I don't know, later tonight, show me the spell. I want to read up on it.
I don't have it in my book currently.
Then tell me about it later.
Okay. Sure.
It would be a lot
I can do
easier to
that.
get things done if we at least pretend one of us are an adult.
I could imagine.
I mean, no one really knows my true age. They just assume I'm a child hanging out with yous.
I mean, you are. You're like 2 years old.
Less than
Everyone,
years.
everyone, go ahead and scroll down to the very, very bottom. I
Classic.
promise one day I'll make maps that start in the upper left. I'll really try one day.
Is this the entire
One
fucking...
day.
Oh man, this is a chunky map.
So, this is a dungeon.
No.
This is like
You guys open the door,
included-
the holder is there, and it's like, welcome to my house.
Oh no, I was more
You have to
thinking
find
that
the crystal.
It's more thinking
The
that this
crystal.
entire house is secretly evil and requires children sacrifices.
I'm gonna knock really hard.
Yeah, so as you guys come up, you see like a sad, droopy roofed, depressing kind of building. It's 2 stories, sort of like a big attic window up at the top. Sort of like a very simple brickwork, kind of wood paneling wall. You see a couple sort of shuttered, closed, dark windows with like just faint traces of light coming out. And you see there's sort of a small little sign out front that says St. Andrew's Home for Wayward Children.
Well, we are wayward.
You sort of give up, give a little...
Yep. Just continue until it opens.
And slowly making her way forward, you hear a couple little footsteps, and then the door kind of creaks open, and you see a very short, large, sort of round tiefling woman, sort of with this gray hair kind of pulled back into a little bun down at the bottom, wearing sort of like this little like white bathrobe. She says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Maybe?
Oh, please, come out of the rain. Come in, come in.
Sweet. I go in.
And she kind of backs up, kind of allowing you all in. And you see there's like a small little entranceway that has 2 doors on either side, a staircase leading up. And then there is a small little shoe cubby with sort of shoes cast all around to the sides as you all make your way in.
You gotta definitely take his shoes off, knowing he has none.
I'll take my shoes off. Oh, is this an OC right here? Or is this just a very specific picture you found? The fuck is this?
We'll never know.
Don't know what that is, but I love it.
She says, What can I help you boys with?
Well,
Have you come to pick up a child?
oh no.
No.
We kind of found some children and wanted to make sure this place is alright.
I don't think any of the children went outside. Oh, no, but I believe he came. Yes, Marrow came back.
Oh,
We don't have any children you could. Who? If you found a child, I can assure you they did not come from here.
well, no, but we found kids that might need a place to stay.
Julian, go make a persuasion check for me.
Okay. For sure. Come on, boy, you got +6. What are you doing, Julian?
She looks a little disconcerted. But she says, all matters of adoption must be brought up with Ms. Orphelmeyer.
Miss Awful Maya.
Oh, Orphelmeyer.
Awful.
Yes, Ethel's very particular about pronunciation.
Okay. Ethel Awful Maya.
You've got it. And she kind of smiles. And she says, does the child have any legal documentation?
Doubt it.
That's all right. She kind of smiles and she says, I'll go bring something up. Wait here. And she kind of shuffles off to this door. Gives a couple little knocks, but doesn't wait for a response to just go inside. Close the door behind her, and you guys are just kind of sitting out here for a minute. You can hear the sound of what sounds like television off to the left, and you can hear what sounds like children's voices. And then you start to hear women's voices talking from the right side, and sort of up the stairs, you can see a small little landing before there are more doors sort of up above.
Nice squint.
Joe's gonna walk towards the stairs.
Can any of you guys turn invisible?
No, but I can turn really, really small. Like into a mouse, or a lizard, or a frog, or a turtle, or a snake.
Alright. Anyone else? Dante, you got invis on you? Oh, like a boy, mate. Hello? Let's start tapping each of you on the shoulder. Fellas.
No, I do not have invisibility, sorry.
Alright, Gale, any... Alright.
Nice talk, nice
Yep,
talk.
you guys stole her. I cast invisibility on myself.
I'm going to go into a lizard and scout. As Yaddle clutch the door and all of its belongings so that it all gets absorbed into him when he goes into lizard form.
So Keith becomes a lizard?
Yes. I'm gonna scope out the place as a fucking gecko.
Yeah, me
There's
too.
nothing they can do about it.
Oh, there he is.
There he is! The good boy himself! Let me just pull up the lizard's stat block. Just in case
It's
gets
in
needed.
the party.
Yeah. I have it out now.
A couple seconds later, Gale, Leku, and Dante are kind of left out here. That woman kind of comes back out, and she says, Miss Orphelmeyer, I will see you now.
Oh,
Miss,
okay.
I heard Miss Awful Mile.
Going to the door to the left.
You go to the left, I'll cover upstairs. We got this.
Come on, Rhythm.
Any little kid tries to pick me up, I'm gonna fucking bite them.
Give the kids a
okay, there we
party.
Seth, we can hear you.
Hey.
Hey, you're back.
Alright, I was like, what the fuck? No one's saying anything. I keep talking and it's like, what the fuck?
I couldn't hear you.
Fine. No, sometimes Discord just likes to fuck me.
Ah,
And sometimes I just have to leave and rejoin.
Or you see this tiefling woman kind of making her way towards that door as well.
or I'm gonna wait till she opens it.
And she says, were there more of you?
No.
Deception check.
It just looks around.
Where's my deception? Where'd it go? I lost it. There it is.
She says, oh, well, alright, you seem like nice boys. Go ahead and head in. We'll get this adoption business all figured out.
Wonderful.
And she kind of shuffles over to the door, Julian. You see she kind of
Come
swings
along,
it open.
fellas.
Yeah. Wait until it's open
You
enough.
just kind
I'm
of
gonna
dip in behind
sneak
her.
in.
And she, we'll make a stealth check with advantage.
Oh,
Ah, no, he's here.
that little piece of shit.
Sonic.
Oh, buddy.
Look. Don't bully.
Julian, as you slink in, you see she kind of shuffles her way up to this other door. And you see this little girl kind of cast like a weird look over to the doorway. But then as she sees other tiefling woman kind of head further north, she kind of turns back to this little small dollhouse and this sort of set of dolls.
Oh.
You see in here there's an old beat up couch in front of like a little small TV. You see on the TV there's an old black and white western kind of playing out.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm missing out.
You see scenes.
I start
of
recording
sort of
it on
two
my
cowboys
phone.
on horseback, sort of firing these loud, smoky gunshots at each other.
I recorded on my
Um,
phone.
I am literally crying. My homeland.
My homeland.
Julie, make a
Texas.
perception check for me.
Oh, shit. I forgot about advantage. 14.
As you look around, you see that there's sort of these little small bookshelves. You see that they're half filled with books, half filled with sort of little tubs that have toys in them. They're kind of old, beaten up, a little bit mismatched as you kind of look over them. You see there's a little girl who has a paper airplane that she's sort of chasing around the room.
Oh.
You think it's somehow it's moving a lot without falling down for a paper airplane as she kind of like runs around the room, kind of following it this way and that. As it kind of just zooms around and glides on the wind, kind of above her finger. You see there's a small boy sort of sitting with a much older girl. She looks older than your guys' age, maybe like 16, 17. Sort of up there with like sort of like a book, sort of talking with him. You see the small girl playing with dolls, and you see that little shit who was throwing rocks. Who's still got kind of like the busted open cheek, kind of sitting down watching the western on the TV.
Defeat him.
I feel bad,
You see
man.
there are two more doors in the left wall, and there seems to be a door that goes outside on the north end of the room. And you see the old tiefling woman kind of opens the door to a small little kitchen,
Alright, so that's the
and she heads inside. The other half of the group, you all walk into this small little neat office area where you see there's a large fireplace and a set of paintings depicting these sort of like little sort of like
Hans cam.
nature landscapes. You all three kind of come in and you see this woman kind of look over a desk. She says, "Yes, I believe you all had children." And she kind of like narrows as she looks at you and she says, "You're teenagers. Got a bit of a head start, I see." So she kind of takes out a couple papers, starts moving with a pen.
Oh,
You
no.
misunderstand. We found them.
Oh. Are the children with you?
No.
And she kind of leans back in her chair, kind of surveying the three of you, and she says, then, all right. She kind of leans forward, kind of laying her fingers, kind of interlacing these long, bony fingers together. She kind of eyes you across the room as Gale just kind of strides over and plops himself down. She kind of looks a little irked, and she says, what exactly would you like to happen in this meeting?
This was more of my friend's idea. We're mostly just here to check the place out and make sure that it's
Your
a
friend.
nice place.
And she kind of looks over to Leku.
Yeah, this is my friend Leku. He wants to make sure the kids are all nice and set up, you know?
Hmm?
I kind of put my arm around him.
Also, I don't
Leku,
know
go and make a
why.
deception check with advantage.
Gale
Leku's
has the
fa-
temptation to stab this woman for some reason.
Leku's face is just sort of in panic mode.
I don't trust him, man. That's a skeleton wrapped in skin. I don't.
That really does look like. I cast Divine Sense. They're an undead. I execute them.
Do you cast Divine Sense?
No, not yet. We aren't close enough to
Oh
anything.
my god.
Oh,
That's just 2 twos. There ain't nothing. That's just 2 twos.
How could you do this to me?
I told you, Leku's face just went into sheer panic mode the
How-
moment you wrapped your arm around him.
How could you do this to me? I was.
She just kind of squints at you, Leku, and then looks back to you, Dante. And she says, how about you both leave? Well, all 3 of you, kind of turning back to, like, remembering Gale all of a sudden. And she says, and stop wasting my time. And if you do have children that need placement here at the orphanage, you bring them with you so that we may discuss proper accommodations for said children. If not, please see yourselves out. And she kind of looks down at these documents again and kind of starts scribbling again with the pen.
Right.
Don't leave, just sass her.
Come along, Gale.
Well, you look over and you see Gale's gone.
oh,
Oh, I didn't see him leave. Well, I guess it's just us then, Leku. Let's get out of here.
Do you close the door behind you, Dante?
Yep.
No witnesses.
Oh boy.
Gale, you hear this woman say, teenagers, I swear, nothing better to do than make fun of caretakers. Gale, you see there are 2 doors in the room. There's the door out. What would you like to do?
Oh, good.
Hmm.
You really kind of fucked yourself on this one, pal.
He's gonna look into this door.
Do you want to pee through the keyhole or like slightly
Yeah,
open it?
keyhole.
Go make a perception check for me.
Okay. He just wants a decent impression. He can't see shit.
You see like a tiled floor and like a white wall. You see like there's like some like sort of fresco designs on the wall.
Is
But you
there a
can't
window?
really see. There's not a window in this room.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of room for angling, so you're really only seeing just wall.
They're distracted, right? I'm probably quite. Do I think I could be quiet enough to not be noticed if I tried to open that door over there?
You think it'd be down to the dice, but you think that if you roll well, it'd be. She's looking down at papers, like writing and muttering to herself. If you were very quiet, you could feasibly sneak in.
How about this one? Because considering I'm already here.
This one here?
Yeah. And it's like behind the fireplace through their perspective.
Go make a stealth check again.
Oh boy.
oh.
Easy.
I should have went through the top door.
You just barely slink that door open, and you dart through. And you're in a bathroom.
Well, he at least has an excuse for why he wasn't there. If he wants to leave now.
So with that, real quick, we'll go ahead and cut over to Yertle.
Yeah, because I'm
Yertle, you
mad.
make your way up to the second story of the house. You see there are 3 doors. You want to go through the one to the right?
Yes.
How does Yertle open a door as a lizard?
I mean, I'm assuming he's like a gecko, and if the doors are like at my house, there's a gap small enough where a lizard could crawl through.
Yeah, if you're a tiny lizard, they can slink under any door, man.
Oh yeah, if you're like a little lizard, you just like
Yeah. I'm assuming I'm like a little lizard. Oh.
Be
Please
careful
don't
of the
notice
cat,
me,
though. If a
Strahd.
cat finds you, he's gonna have a crunch.
Yeah, you're gonna have a crunch. No, that will kill the cat.
Yeah, he'll take a
you
bite and then you
see,
explode.
a small girl with purple skin and sort of like this weird hue of hair with these little horns kind of peeking out of her forehead, sitting next to a bed crying.
Oh.
Oh, I want Yodel can't come fit. What am I thinking? I'm gonna do it anyhow.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try my best. Yodel, little lizard, lizard Keith, I'll call this little Keith, is gonna rock up to this crying girl and like crawl onto her lap, kind of just like
Oh, no.
try and get her attention as much as a lizard can without resorting to violence.
Do the little dance. Do
Yeah, I'll
the gecko dance.
I'll do the gecko dance. Stand on my hind
This is a
legs.
weird usage of the skill, but I'm gonna say go make an animal handling check for me.
Yes.
This is like a reverse animal handling. This is an animal handling a person.
Love it. I clicked and I don't know if it's gone through on your end because it hasn't on mine.
It has. Where is Hans on this map?
Oh fuck!
No.
I accidentally did it as a.
Got rid of him.
With
Unless you want to
fucking
put me,
up.
I'll plop him.
if you want to put one in each boy's vision. That's...
Just a Hans.
Yeah, everybody gets a Hans.
Hans is the cosmic owl.
Yes. Spirit Hans.
Hans is actually
You
Strahd,
kind of
which is
curl
like
up
he
in the
knows
lap
what
of
we're
this girl,
doing.
and she kind of lets out like a small little like start as she gets really surprised. You kind of curl up, but she kind of like steps up kind of suddenly as you just kind of are sprawled out on the ground in front of her. And it's gonna start making moves towards her, like sort of soothing motions, trying to like calm her down. She kind of hops up, onto the bed, kind of looking down at you. Her crying now forgotten. She's looking down at this lizard.
I'll do like a little try to do a little dance for her to try to get her to laugh.
Do a performance check for me.
Well, I'm gonna eat shit as a lizard. 8. I definitely do eat shit as a lizard. Like, I tried to do a little dance and fucking faceplant.
You start like trying to boogie,
Yeah.
and it's
What's
not that
the
impressive
rhyme?
of a dance, but just even the attempt at this lizard trying to dance gives her pause as she just kind of looks at you. Real quick, cutting back to Julian. You're watching these westerns over this kid's shoulder. He's kind of laying back with his arms behind his head on this pillow, kind of laying full spread across the couch with his legs all the way over. What would you like to do?
This kid doesn't look sad about what happened today. He's fine. It's another day in Vallaki. I'm gonna kind of sidle around, make sure I'm not hitting anyone. I'm gonna kind of just peek into every door as I go past. Just a little glance.
Go make me 3 perception checks then.
Pew pew pew.
Ooh, hoo, hoo.
Oh.
Yo!
Alright, we're gonna save that crit for last. Peeking in, you see an empty bedroom. Kind of looking around, you see there is a small bonsai tree, sort of resting on the mantle, sort of near a mirror. And there are a couple little, like, small bits and pieces, like little bits of furniture and knickknacks around the room, but it's very bland, but, like, nicely kept. But it looks like a single person's bedroom. As you make your way to the second door, inside, you see a teenage male, maybe like very close to 18, like young adult.
Oh.
Please.
You see that the floors are covered in dirt and like boot tracks. Sort of like caked mud all around the place that's like long dug into the wood flooring and the carpet. You see the young man is kind of like sweating.
This is the Gravedigger.
And he's wearing just sort of like a simple t-shirt and some shorts, and he's kind of tossing and turning. He looks like he's asleep, but he's very, very active, just sort of moving about, sort of panting as he's laying in the bed. He's kind of got like a deadly pale, almost like yellow tinge to his skin as he's laying.
If like ganja or something.
Julian, you also see there's an Elvis poster sort of on the wall.
Oh,
and there's an
hell
old
yeah.
shovel kind of leaning up against the bedpost.
Well, Fortuna's ganjas, but I'll make note of that. As I
And then lastly, with that
slink
big
up.
crit, so this won't count as a perception check because this door has a window in it.
Huh.
As you look out, you see a small boy, with a sort of like a spiked, like a slightly spiked black haircut with sort of like a hoodie on and these little shorts, playing in a sandbox out back. You see the slightest point you think of elven ears.
Brother.
And you see he's kind of down, sort of just thrusting a shovel again and again into the sandbox. And you see off in the distance on the swings, there is a girl with sort of like stark white hair and sort of like grayish skin. You think you see horns coming up out of the hair. It looks like she's smoking. You see sort of the puff of a cigarette in her hands as she's sort of swinging back and forth on the swings. And you see an old beat up like metal shed and like a small little clearing of trees in this little backyard area. As you make your way over to the kitchen, you can see this old tiefling woman kind of busying about, and you see she kind of comes out of where an oven is with like a little tray full of rolls. And you see there's a tea kettle currently letting out like a screech. As you peek around with that crit, you see that as she opens the fridge for a second, you see there's a slot in the top for ice packs. Like sort of like where you keep like ice packs sort of like treat injuries and that kind of thing. You see that there's like 3 slots and they're all currently empty. You see there's kind of sparse things in the fridge. There's a couple like there's like milk. You see a couple things of like fruits and veggies kind of tucked away. You see there's like some condiments on the fridge door. You see there's a small little ice cream cooler kind of packed with all these little wrappers and things of ice cream, and you see that it has a padlock on it.
Oh.
And you see that there are bits of the glass where it has been smashed. And you see that it has been duct taped over in several places, and there's sort of just cracks all along it. And this is where the crit comes in. As you're looking around, there's sort of like very sparse things. You see like there's a little oven, there's a fridge, there's a dishwasher underneath the sink, and there's a couple little like snacked things, and like there's like fruit snacks and other little desserts. There's also like general like actual food bits kind of here and there. You see along the bits where there are utensils, there's sort of like a big wooden block for knives. With a very keen perception looking over, you see that the biggest knife is missing.
Oh no.
There's a full set of knives like in this little wooden block, and you see that there's this big slot for like a carving knife, and there is no knife in that slot.
It wasn't me, I swear.
So
If it's the little girl with yellow, I'm gonna crack.
someone has big knife.
Someone does.
Yes.
So
Of course,
Dante
yeah,
and Leku,
Mhm.
What would the two of you like to do?
Leave.
Dante
I'm
just strides for the door.
Maybe leave like some doors, like slightly cracked, just to make it a bit easier. Like definitely leave the front door cracked.
So, Dante, are we coming back or what's
I
going on?
Guess we have to.
Hmm.
You guys don't know where Yertle, Gale, or Julian are.
You walked in with
You walked in
five,
with
you
5
left
and you're
with
leaving with 2.
But that said, there are coats on the thing that match your colours.
Irony.
Yeah, there are little raincoats stashed up that match the Leku and Dante color scheme.
Convenient. That's why it had to happen.
Yeah, that's why I had
It all
that.
makes sense now. It all makes sense now.
You can feel free to do whatever you want.
Those coats were foreshadowing.
I'll stay here and make sure that nothing bad happens.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you guys have the situation handled, so
Well,
I
we'll see.
think I'm just going to go survey the town, if that's all right.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know if I find anything interesting.
All right, and Leku, you kind of stride back out into the rain, and make your way back to the northern bit of the city where the town square is.
Hmm.
Dante, what would you like to do?
The
The front door does remain cracked.
Okay. I'll just like kind of stay. No, I can't move past the door.
Oh, you want to stay outside, like by the front door?
Yeah. I'll stay like under like the
roof.
overhang a bit. But I'll just kind of hang out here.
Hans went out.
Oh,
We lost visual in the front room.
well, no one's in there, so.
Gale, what would you like to do?
Well, this is double down or nothing, so he's gonna just walk out sneakily and try to open the top door. He'll look through the keyhole first, actually.
I'm going to have a perception check for me.
Cool. Wow, my perception is ass.
Wow.
Ouch, perfectly balanced.
You're like trying to peer through. You swear it's a bedroom, of some kind, but you cannot make anything out. It's definitely looking around the dimensions of it, even with a nat 1. It's probably the biggest room you've been in besides the office. Kind of just having seen in the entranceway and then the other room that Julian kind of dipped through while you guys were still there. It looks like a pretty big room.
Also, thinking about it, 'cause my sword is also technically my wand. Could I just registered my instead of it being a sword?
It looks clearly like a sword.
I'm curious how that works. Or is it?
I would
just
say for right now,
registered
no. That you have to register as 2 separate things.
Okay, so it's just registered as a sword.
Yes.
Nah, this doesn't feel like the time to triple down. He'll just walk through the front door. Or
Wait,
side
a stealth
door
check for me.
here. Do I? You know what? Can he mage hand the toilet? No, I'll just roll another stealth. And when I roll really well, I should have doubled down. I should have went through the top door.
So you sort of make your way
Really
down,
should've doubled down.
and you see as you're kind of making your way past the fireplace, you see she kind of ruffles down some papers and goes to look up. And as she stands, you hit the deck and kind of just cling to the front of the desk. And she kind of makes her way over to the mantle, and you kind of curve around to the other side.
Can I
she
steal
kinda
something random from the desk?
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Okay. I really should have doubled down.
She strides towards the bathroom. As you just snatch a paper just from the front, kind of crumpling in your hand almost, you just kind of make a beeline for the door as she opens the bathroom door. And then you just dip out back into the entranceway.
I feel like I should have checked the bathroom.
I mean, you did.
I'm ready. Gale will curiously look at the paper he just stole out of kleptomania. There's no other way to describe the reasoning behind that but kleptomania.
As you look down at the paper, you see it is a document being filed for civil services. You see it is a sort of like a or no, you see it is a autopsy report.
Oh.
Oh boy.
You see that the detailed person is a child named Cedric.
Aww.
Oh, Diggory, no.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't even escape death in this universe.
And you see that the cause of death is several stab wounds, as well as a broken neck as if from a fall.
Fuck.
So Gale just casually slides us back, and we'll let them assume that it fell off their desk when they got up.
Also detailed, you see, are the fact that the stab wounds were hidden. The clothes did not share the stab wounds.
Okay. So wait. Someone undressed them, stabbed the child, then redressed the child?
Well, or at least the stab wounds were prior to the neck being broken. And the breaking of the neck was the cause of death. And the clothes the child was wearing did not show the stab wounds being performed.
Okay, I know this looks bad, but I swear I didn't do anything. It's not even time.
We've been in town for 10 minutes, Dante.
I didn't do it!
And they already got the autopsy, damn.
That's impressive.
They work fast around here.
Yeah. Does anyone here seem restricted?
Come again, sorry?
Does anyone here, restricted?
You don't see any, padlocks anywhere on any of the doors.
He walks upstairs.
Alright, just no one to observe you. Just make your way, walk upstairs. Go up to the upper right. I'll go and move Hans' cam.
Yes. I am everywhere.
See that Hans Cam? I'll fucking slap.
Julian, you see this woman make her way past you. You sort of just barely dodge out of the way as she kind of makes her way down into the room.
So out of ice packs, missing a knife. At this point, I'm gonna kind of inspect some of these kids, kind of give them a look around, see if they got. They wouldn't hide the knife on them. They're kids, but they're not.
Make
that
a
dumb.
perception check again for me. I'm gonna say with advantage because you've been rolling like fucking crazy on these perceppies.
Got those eyes going on.
Ooh, didn't even need it.
No.
Looking around, you're sort of gazing at pockets, sort of looking at pant legs, seeing shoes for any hidden knives. As you look around at the 5 children in the room, you don't think that any of them are hiding a knife, at least on their person. But as you kind of make your way, move around, you're kind of inspecting these children multiple times each. You notice something. The much older girl, sort of in the beanie, and the sort of the long sleeve sweater and the jeans. Every now and again, she'll kind of groan a little and kind of rub her lower back. Kind of arching up in the chair, kind of almost there's sort of an aching going on there. And you see that as you notice, you see that this little girl Rose, is dressed in this weird old fashioned little dress. And she's playing dolls in front of this little dollhouse. And you see every now and again as she kind of leans over to pick up a different toy, her sleeve will kind of catch. And you see she has these very, very large series of bruises up and down her lower arms.
Okay.
You see that the boy Marty, he's got 3 band-aids sort of plastered on his cheek. And he's got like a big flat white one up on his forehead, kind of like half covered by his hair. And it seems like he also has like a busted up like cut in his lip that has no bandage on. As he's kind of like looking down at one of these books as the girl rubbing her back kind of leans over to help him with whatever he's reading. And then go make a dex save. All of a sudden, this girl running around the paper airplane slams into you from behind, and you both get knocked prone. You both use half your movement to get up, and she kind of looks around like befuddled and kind of like starts making her way, like almost like zombie armed, kind of like walking around. As she falls down, these two kind of look up, and you see the other girl kind of turns around, and the other girl says, Wanda, are you okay? And the girl who bumped into you says, yeah, and she kind of starts like feeling around, much to the confusion of everyone else kind of looking at her. Only these two really seem to be paying attention. And the other girl says, Wanda, is everything okay? What are you doing? The girl says, Julian, go make a stealth check with advantage.
Shit.
You see, she's looking down at the carpet, like trying to see like where you would have made like footprints in it. But you just kind of very carefully kind of back up onto the wood, and she's looking around. And she says, I guess I just tripped. And she kind of fumbles for her paper airplane and kind of starts making her way over towards the beanbag chairs in the TV.
Squint and know that's exactly what happened, kid. You tripped.
You're a fucking.
And you see she kind of walks over and says, "Can we watch something else?" And you hear this kid just kind of go,
Yeah, what a little piece of shit.
And she kind of frowns a little, kind of looking over the TV as you see sort of like a Native American on a horse, like going like, "Ay, ay, ay, ay," and then get shot.
Oh shit!
They just go out like sprawling onto a dune.
Oh no,
Oh no!
he's fucking dead. I shot him.
And then you see a smoking gun barrel across the room, and Dante's just standing there.
Is the remote on the couch?
Oh, are you just gonna fuck with them?
Yeah, it is.
Can I reach down and change the channel?
Make another stealth check with advantage.
Hey, somebody's.
Damn right. Mero, you piece of shit. It's okay if Wanda sees.
You don't really pick up the remote. You just kind of like lean down, just give it like a little boop.
Yeah,
And the channel doesn't, like when the channel changes, it changes like the input.
yeah.
And you see the screen just kind of goes to static, and the kid sits up and goes, "Oh, what?" And you see she kind of smirks a little. He kind of goes down over to the TV, starts finicking with some buttons.
Keep changing the channel.
And as inputs keep changing, he's like, and you see like he even comes back on for a second. And she says, "Let's watch something that works." She kind of makes her way down to like a little entertainment cabinet, starts peeking through like old VHSs and DVDs.
I'm gonna. Oh shit! Hang on.
You see that both the kitchen door and then also the door back to the entranceway have kind of been left slightly ajar by the old lady.
Yeah, I've got. I assume I saw Yodel run upstairs.
Yeah, back to the beginning you did.
I'm gonna make my way out.
Or did he see the small lizard? Or
And I am going to become.
As you step out, you see
revisible.
Dante just there. And as you're gonna get out, like the rain, Dante, all of a sudden you see just this outline of what might be a fellow-aged teenager just in the rain, as there's just like a void of rain hitting something. There's definitely something there, but we don't know what it is.
I poke it. Hey, what's up, Julian?
Hey, Dante. So there's some weird shit going on in there. Like, not
Yeah?
bad weird. Like, I mean, they could be potentially very weird, but like all those kids are hurt. Like, I'm not sure if they're doing it, but like one of the big knives are missing. Something's definitely up.
Well, should we...
I become
I don't
invisible.
Okay, yeah, Julian appears in front of you, Dante.
I'm going to do just one thing real quick, and then we can beat feet, get back to place and take a nap. Where's everyone?
Well, I'm not really sure, actually.
Okay.
You know that Leku just left.
Other than Leku, he just kind of left.
Oh. Well, one sec. The gravedigger is here. I'm gonna make sure I get some stuff. Now go back in. I'm gonna knock on like the big lady's door.
Like,
You see it's been left slightly ajar. And you hear the old woman say, "I brought, and you see that it's empty entirely besides her.
Oh.
She
Hello.
says, Miss Offermeyer," and she kind of makes her way further into the room.
wait, Miss Urfelmeyer could be dead. Oh no!
You know what? Maybe if I'm quick. I'm gonna scurry. I'm gonna go into this door and open it. Just walk in. Try to straighten myself up a bit. Kind of make sure there's a lot
you
less
just kinda
creases.
Walk in. You see people do kind of turn to look at you, but they don't seem like too alarmed by your presence as you just walk in.
I wave with a smile.
The oldest girl kind of gives you like a weird look, kind of looking like behind you to see if anyone's gonna like follow you in. But doesn't seem to pay you any mind.
I'm going to walk up to this door, kind of give it a few rat-tat-tats.
As you walk up to the door, the older girl says, "Can I help you?" Kind of looking between you and the door you just like walked through.
And I'm like, I'm hoping. I was sent here by the church to check up on the grave digger.
Go make me a deception check. I was thinking persuasion, but it's deception. All right.
I mean, it's not half the truth.
I'm
She says-
I'm a medical man. I've been sent to help.
Oh, kind of looking over your very much a teenager self. She says, yeah, Millie's right in there. He won't answer the door, though. You better just let yourself in."
Okay. If there's anything else, medical you need, just give me a help.
Make an insight check.
Wants to.
This kid's wisdom is monstrous.
Yeah, I know what that was.
When you say anything else medical, she kind of like, again, a hand goes for her lower back. She just kind of smiles and doesn't say anything as you walk in. And as you walk in, we're gonna cut back to old Yurt.
Oh, you're trying to.
As
help
you're sort
this
of like
little
trying to
lad.
entertain this girl doing little dances. She kind of leans over the edge of the bed. And she says, "What are you doing?" Kind of leaning down, kind of like peering over the edge of the bed to look at you.
Yertle try smile as best as a gecko can, and knowing he can't speak, try speak anyways, and try shoot her a glance to say what he's saying too, in hopes that this is conveyed. Be like, trying to cheer you up, little girl. That sounded really weird.
Screeching and gecko.
I'm calling
I can't-
protective services.
See, like the wreck on that too. Let's go with the float. This is why you don't let me choose my own words.
Make an animal handling check again for me.
Sweet. Like, I'm just trying to be like competent. Can't choose good words. Natural.
You're gonna roll the dice. Oh, there we go.
I did. I clicked it like a
No, it's
whole
fine.
big bit ago. Fuck you.
um,
She just hates me.
she sort of looks down, sort of coming off the top part of the bed. Gale, as you make your way in here, you can kind of hear noises coming from this right door.
Okay.
You see that in this little sort of room here, there's a trap door on the ceiling that goes to an attic with a little like pull string. Which just sort of the difference in door. You can tell that this door leads to another bathroom.
Okay.
Then there's a door to the right and the left.
I feel like the most instant suspicious thing is trying to parkour up to the attic. So let's try to parkour up to the attic.
Well, it's got a pull string. You don't need to.
I know.
So he parkours to the attic.
I know.
He doesn't open the door.
I mean, how tall
parkours through the
is
door.
there like a ladder?
We gotta pull, and then the ladder will come down.
Is that how
Probably
it
very
works?
loudly.
I'm gonna be real. I've never had an attic that works like that. We have to get like a chair in mine and crawl up there.
Yertle, you and this girl both kind of look up as you hear a noise coming from outside as Gale leaps up on top of the doorway, reaches for this trapdoor and sort of starts pulling it down. And as you pull down the trapdoor, you see the inside is a sort of like bundled up staircase that sort of unfolds and unfurls itself down to the ground as you open up the trapdoor to the attic.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We'll get into like a defensive stance, looking towards the door.
Well,
Knowing he's a gecko, so it's not that intimidating.
You see that she goes to pick you up, sort of grabbing you by the stomach, and she sort of walks over. She says, "We're not supposed to go up into the attic. I wonder what they're getting." And she kind of goes to make a stealth check. Gale, what's your passive?
My passive is a 17.
She does not have advantage, so she fails that. Gale, you see, kind of as you make your way up the attic stairs, this door on the right kind of just barely peek open, and you see a little tiefling girl holding what is definitely a urinal lizard. As she kind of peers up and looks at you, and you see she does not recognize you when she sees you as you kind of are making your way up the attic.
Wait.
And Yertle, she says to you, "Who's that? What's he doing here?"
Pure curiosity will kill this. It will kill this Genasi.
We'll try. Like, he'll strike as a gecko, like, I don't know. No, it's... he's just playing off he doesn't know Gale, like, he doesn't know him, he's not with him. So I'm assuming that would be a deception shrug?
You're a lizard. Do they understand the fact that you
I don't
shrug?
think she would immediately assume that you know. She's not gonna like hold the lizard up and go, "Do you know this guy?"
Do you know this guy?
If
Pulls
you
out,
grip
like,
her back, maybe.
pocket knife. Do you really? Just
Gale,
Google.
as you make your way up to the attic,
Can I, like, fold the stairs?
you gonna pull the stairs up after you?
Yeah? Is that how that works?
You kind of
that's
grab the
him
stairs
and
and
me
pull on them,
saying
and
that,
the
basically.
trap door swings shut.
Oh.
So
I
she
need
don't
to learn
flip on you.
silence one day. That would be a great spell.
Nerdle, you watch as Gale just grabs the attic, and just swings it closed. And this girl kind of looks down at you, just looking into your lizard eyes, and says, "I should probably go tell Ms. Alfelmeyer." And she kind of looks at the door and then down at the stairs.
He starts like nodding no to the best as he can, and he'll like
Make a
crawl
disadvantage
onto-
persuasion check.
try crawl onto her shoulders as he's doing that. No, 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 no. Disadvantage. Wait. An 8. I'm getting better with these persuasions, boys.
She sort of looks down. She kind of shakes her head. And she's sort of picking up. She moves out of the room and she goes to head down the stairs.
Oh no!
Yo, crawl to her shoulder, like trying to constantly nip onto a little bit of her hair to try gently like pull it backwards, like no, please no type thing.
She says, "Hey, stop it!" And she kind of like reaches up, kind of grabs you by the tail, kind of pulls you off, kind of holds you, and kind of like drops you onto the ground from like a good height up, but you just sort of clatter to the ground, sort of start scampering.
I'm gonna scamper fucking back onto it, little shit. Try to stop her.
Run, boy, run.
Who
What are you
would
gonna try
win?
to do?
Who will win?
gonna
A
try to
child or a
stop
lizard?
How would
Once
you like
in
to
the
attempt?
I'll do the ultimate technique of doing the 20 feet climbing speed onto the wall and then killing myself.
You're gonna deploy
at her.
the boy?
Yes. I'm
Deploy the
deploying
boy.
the boy at her.
Boy deployed.
You're gonna leap at her?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does like no damage.
Go make an
Granted.
attack. Yeah, make your bite attack.
I'm not
Deploy
trying.
the boy.
No. I'm just jumping at her to try to get her to like stop.
Just make the attack anyways. It won't be a bite.
Okay.
It'll just be a splap.
Slap.
Exactly.
Oh man. You play the Attack on Titan theme?
Deploy the boy.
Deploy the boy! Boy deployed.
Okay, I'm waiting for the sheet to actually open up on my end because I accidentally closed it. Like it did.
This
There,
one?
5. Yeah, I did it. Fuck,
Oh,
5.
does it have like the build up?
Oh.
Oh.
I was gonna play the Attack on Titan thing, but I'm just gonna.
No, this is fine.
With that advantage, you start leaping at her. She kind of shrieks a little, kind of making her way further up the stairs.
You gotta look really sorry as is doing this.
Julian, all of a
Dude,
sudden
what-
you hear a small screech kind of come from elsewhere. Gale, you also hear a small little screech coming from directly beneath you, 1 story below on the stairs.
Oh boy.
But Gale, as you make your way up here, you see that there is a large stack of cardboard boxes sort of piled all around the place. There is a bed up in here. And there's also a small cradle. And there is a stool at the end where you can see there is a window that has been thoroughly shattered. All the glass is sort of in piles. Sort of some shards sort of by the windowsill. The rest seemingly having gone outside whatever shattered the window. And has been since then boarded up with sort of wooden panels.
Damn.
Damn it.
And as you make your way over, you can see out this window is the backyard that Julian saw with sort of the sandbox, the swing set, and the shed.
Okay. I mean, I guess Gale will poke around slightly before immediately heading back down.
Go ahead and
I was
investigation
like-
check for me.
I was slightly sad because Gale's plan was to jump out the window, but that would be way too suspicious at this point.
Roll investigation for me real quick.
Itch. I would. I mean,
Julian.
Yep. Oh.
You come closer to see this sort of teenage guy sort of writhing around in his bed a little, like sweating bullets as he's kind of kicked up his covers all around him. What would you like to do?
First I'm gonna give a quick look around, make sure the knife isn't in here.
Also make an investigation check for me.
Make sure he doesn't have it and he's not gonna knife me.
Nobody treats my illness. Nobody. Sort of doing like a cursory peek around. You see he's got a couple like bits of religious text over in his little bookcase here. It's pretty sparsely filled. There's not a lot going on over here. You can see there are also a couple little records scattered around in here. Kind of peek under the bed, kind of pull through some clothes, kind of like a little wardrobe, little desk over here. There's no knife in here.
I'm gonna go up next to him, and I'm gonna roll a medicine first, I guess, just to see if I can understand what is wrong with him.
Absolutely.
Wait, do you have detect poison disease?
I
Like
don't
that ritual?
think I have it, but I can just assume at some point. Just wing it and cast some spells.
Yeah. So just realized that ritual might also just be useful there.
Yeah, probably would. Does he seem conscious at all, or is he like asleep wiggling?
He seems unconscious. I just sort of give him like a cursory medicine check. You're seeing a couple like scattered symptoms that could be a lot of things. You can't really pinpoint anything right now, but you're not seeing any like very, very telltale or apparent things. There's no like physical signs aside from just like his paleness, his like skin tone, and his sweating and his writhing that really like matches up. It could be a lot of things. It's not really helpful, and you're not really sure.
Can I check him if he has any obvious wounds? Like roll up his sleeves and...
Yeah, looking up and down, he doesn't look like he has anything. You see there's no bruises really anywhere. There's kind of like a couple calluses on his hands. You see maybe like some light bits here and there, but there's nothing like physically injuring anywhere on his body.
Well, I'm going to place my hand on him and give him a lesser restorate. To see if that does anything to him.
You see, it's not even like when Yertle cast it on old Binsley's mom.
Yeah.
And the spell worked, and then whatever effect was going on, like, replaced itself. This, straight up, as you cast it, the spell, nothing happens.
Huh.
So as he kind of continues to just like entirely the same condition, keeps moving and writhing around in the bed, entirely unchanged, kind of panting a little, you've determined that whatever is afflicting this guy is not a disease. He's not blinded, deaf, and paralyzed or poisoned. There is something else going on with him right now. He's kind of just like in this bed.
Oh no, he could be vampire.
Yeah, can I check for any fucking vampire bites?
No, he ain't got no vamp holes.
I mean, knowing it's not any of them, what does that really even leave?
Vampires and werewolves that
curse.
like lycanthrope curses.
Go and make an Arcana or Religion check for me.
My Arcana's way better, so...
Ooh. Julian.
Yes.
As you look over this guy, just sort of writhing around on this bed, sweating, you determine that whatever's affecting him is not a disease. And as you kind of look at him, you kind of grab his arm, kind of still inspecting him. And you notice something that you didn't notice in your like first medicine check that you now see. It was kind of covered up by his sleeves, like this long sleeve t-shirt he's wearing. There's a bit on his arm where the veins have kind of gone black. And as you look at him, he's showing very similar conditions to what happened to all of you guys in the mayor's mansion back in Barovia Village.
Okay.
We have a limited amount of those drugs, dude. Still have some of them.
We have a shit ton of them, honestly. We have 4, but still. Like, how similar? Like, pretty damn similar?
Maybe not exactly. There were a couple things that were happening to you guys that is not happening to him.
Yeah.
Whatever this effect seems to be, it seems to be somewhat similar in nature, and it's happening a lot slower.
Hmm.